10 all year, but it's not really where I want to be. I want to be top 5 and pushing for podiums. We've got a little bit closer this weekend. We've been top 5 most of the weekend, qualified 5th for the sprint race on Saturday. We finished 9th in the race, which was partly my fault because I made a mistake on the first lap. We're 10th on the grid for today. We made a good step in warm-up though. I was 4th in that and only 0.1 off, so I think if we can get away in the race, get a good start and get amongst them, I can't see why we can't be top 5 today. Suzuki's pretty good on the brakes, so I think we've got a good chance in some of the slower stuff. We can get up behind them and have a few last-minute lunges and we'll see what happens. But I think the key to my race will be getting a good start and hang on in there, and then hopefully towards the end of the race our tyre will last and we'll be able to sit with the front guys.
And the Martrain Yamaha are going to do the double here at his favoured Brands Hatch. Brilliant from the wee wizard. Wonderful 3rd place for the Herefordshireman. And across the line, Jake Dixon just thrusts the Appleyard McAdam Dukes and Yamaha across the line.
Pretty superbike wise, it's been a little bit difficult for us. I think we've proven in the past couple of seasons really that the GSX-R 1000 is more competitive than what we're not currently getting the best from the bike. Let's put it that way. So I think, to be fair, John has the ability, as does Josh actually, and it's just maybe the season came a little bit early for John following his lengthy layoff. There's a lot of things have changed in the context of how this championship runs since John's been away, in terms of the technical restrictions on the motorbikes. There's no traction control, no anti-wheelie, throttle blippers, all of that stuff. So John was having to get used to not riding with any of that and also come back from an 18-month layoff. That was always going to take a bit of time. We knew that. Unfortunately, the winter went fairly quickly for us, and before we realised that the season was upon us. So where John is now is actually, where we kind of like to have seen ourselves be at the beginning of the year, and that probably would have painted a totally different picture than the one we have right now. So that's kind of the way we want to look at it. This is where our season starts. We're looking at it as a building exercise from here on in, and hopefully both riders, John and Josh on the superbike, we can see some better things off from here on in.
I'm not going to lie, this season hasn't gone how we've hoped, but every round has got better. I'm enjoying being back on the Suzuki. I spent a lot of time back home on a Suzuki, 7 years, and it's great to be back in the Suzuki family.
Today I'm hoping to be well within the top 5 and get us back on the podium. I mean, that's the plan. The team's been working hard. I've been working really hard on my fitness, and yeah, that's the plan. We want to get some top 5s.
I'm being realistic. I mean, we always come here looking for podium finishes, and I know that's what John's expecting as well. That would be nice, but I'm not going to say that I'm expecting that. It would be nice. I would be very pleased with that, of course. If we can at least challenge the podium positions, where we end up kind of depends a little bit on how strong the other guys are towards the end of the race. We've got a reasonable starting position, and honestly, what I want to see John is at least be in the mix for the podium. With Josh, we can't be unrealistic. I mean, he's not going to be challenging at the very, very sharp end, but we want to see him have a strong top 10 challenge, and hopefully that's give us something to build from.
Brands Hatch awaits, a packed Brands Hatch. And we've got a problem for the Tyco Suzuki of John Hopkins.
Yep.
Hopkins throws up his hand. He's Shaky Byrne puts up his hand.
Yep.
The yellow flags wave.
Yeah, that's it. It's held up now as a start.
And John Hopkins is obviously frustrated and a bit put out about that, but the Californian on the Tyco Suzuki then, having qualified the head of the 3rd row of the grid, has to start from the back. Right, we're ready to go again. The British Superbike Championship in association with Pirelli. Shaky Byrne hits the front. This is John Hopkins. John Hopkins up to 10th place on the Tyco Suzuki number 21 from the back of the grid after having that gear selection problem before we got underway. He's just past the main wearing spot. He's right behind the second rapid solicitors Kawasaki of number 5, Stuart Easton. And it's across the line for his second win in a fortnight for an absolutely elated Yuichi Kiyodari on the Bill-based BMW. Johnny Hopkins tears across the line behind Richard Cooper, and he's grabbed 9th place. On pole position, Shaky Byrne. When the red light goes out, they're off. Shaky makes the first move towards the first turn and gets a really clean start. Oh, it gets a big. He gets off onto the grass and has a massive off.
That's got to be, and that isn't over, you know.
Round Westfield, down Dingle Dell, which has never looked a particularly dangerous bit of track to me until this point. And someone's gone down again. We're racing again, and then straight away Kianari jumps to the front and surprises Shaky Byrne. That was something of a surprise to all of us.
He's going on the inside though. Shaky's going for the inside.
Ray, I suddenly thought they were holding their hands up then straight away up the hill.
Yeah, they were.
If you make the start here, it's down to you to find out what grip there is, James, as much as you'd like a clear track.
I don't envy him.
15 laps, Shaky Byrne, steady off, but a good start. Not such a good start for Kianari. And look at this, number 12, Josh Waters, Wildman Waters, another man we'd overlooked on the Tyco Suzuki, a guy who's got to fly out to Japan tomorrow morning, and Philip Neal says his mind's probably on that, but it's certainly on the wet race right now.
This is what I said, it's probably going to be somebody we've never even mentioned, because it's just this is conditions for heroes here.
Look at this, he's slipped past Chris Walker and Keith Farmer. Waters, number 12, has pushed the Tyco Suzuki through to 4th place. So
third now. Waters is probably looking at least safer than Cooper. Cooper's having a lot of slides, lost the front there, he's lost the rear coming out of Druids. Cooper's on a real mission, I feel now. And Waters doesn't look so, he looks a little bit more smooth, it just looks like he's got a bit better pace, a safer pace to me, does Waters, than Cooper. Cooper's going to keep going, obviously, but and it isn't mistakes that Cooper's making, it's just the bike sliding around because he's pushing so hard.
This is one of the sweetest men you'll ever meet in a motorcycle racing paddock. They call him Wildman Waters because he's absolutely anything but.
Quite
he's just a sweetheart.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and he's having a good go at this. We've seen very little of him just because he's now best part of 6 seconds in front. There's Mason and Hopkins.
He's ridden a perfect race here at Brands Hatch. A terrific result for Tyco Suzuki and Josh Waters.
Obviously it was wet, but it was the same for everyone, but the dry's a lot harder. I've always seemed to go okay in the wet, so I was just trying to be smooth and trying to do everything. And with 5 laps to go, I couldn't believe it. Huge thank you to Suzuki and Tyco for believing in me and giving me another shot. So I'd love to keep trying my hardest and hopefully be constantly, in the top 10 where the bike and team deserve to be.
It's just absolutely thrilling. I mean, we've had a pretty tough start to the weekend with the weather and the storms coming in this afternoon. We just really didn't know how to call it. But Josh just showed his absolute confidence in the wet. We're absolutely thrilled to take this win. Really, really, really pleased for all of the Taz team and definitely for all of the Tyco team. Really pleased.
Got a tear in my eye. I spent a lot of time with Josh this year. The tough time, I'm so pleased for him. Out watching him, fingers crossed. He's a master in these conditions and took his riding from end of last year here when he was fighting for the podium. And it's just so good to see. He so needed that. He's off to Japan now to the 8-hour race. He'll go there with a lot of confidence. Hopefully come back to Thruxton and can be fighting for some more podiums.
The Mackenzies they've been like my second parents over here this year. They've been unbelievable. We spend majority of the weekends and weekdays at their house. They should charge us for rent because, and both the Mackenzie boys, so that was one thing I was thinking about because we always race around at home on my DRZ 125. They've got a little dirt track at home, and I was thinking of all the little smart ass comments that they'd be saying. So it's real good fun, and I can't believe it.